Alright guys, I'm sure this isn't your first what's in my bag video. You already know how this is gonna go. I'm only really doing this because it's been a while since I've done one of these, and all of my kit, including the bag that I keep it in, is very different. So I felt like this would be a good time to talk about what's in my bag and how I'm using it right now, at least to start 2025. A little something you may not know about me is I have a bit of a bag habit. For better or worse, I'm very good at kind of compartmentalizing things. So I tend to have a bag for every use case. Now, up until recently, for the last few years, this was like my everyday non-camera bag. And I think I did a video on this a while ago, but you can see how slim this is. But with it being so slim, I would usually put a laptop, an iPad, a couple more folders for client work, chargers, cables, hard drives. And this would be like my everyday bag for just getting stuff done. And it got to the point as I was starting to get back to doing some content creation that I wanted to have a bag that still kept the same slim footprint, but was just a little bit bigger in order to carry some camera gear in. So other things you may have noticed from those two bags, I tend to have or gravitate towards slim, minimal, usually monochromatic type aesthetics. And it took me a while for me to figure out what type of bag I wanted to go. Peter McKinnon is one of my favorite content creators. I do like a lot of his content. I even like his products, but I specifically was trying to avoid getting this bag, especially when everybody was making videos about it, because I didn't want to get it just to be the guy that was trying to jump on the bandwagon to make the content. So I actually took about 3 months doing research on bags, trying to find something different. I looked at all the other ones, but I kept coming back to this bag. So it pretty much checked off all of the boxes more than any other bag. Outside of the camera, everything that I typically keep in this bag is in this bag right now. One of the first best things is, as you can see, it does tend to stand upright, and I love that about the bag. Now, I will have to jump cut this because I'm going to have to take everything out of this bag so I can then explain what I like about the bag and its features, and then we can jump into the actual items that I carry within this bag. Sure, this isn't your first time seeing a video on this bag, but this is the interior of the bag. How I typically use it, I will use these 3 sections, well technically 4, but these 3 layers specifically dedicated for camera gear, and then I will use this loft area dependent upon what the use case is, whether I'm traveling with this, whether I am trying out a additional camera, whether I need a B camera, whether I need a director's monitor so I can view my own footage when I'm solo creating. If I'm working on client work, I will use this for an extra SSD or hard drive. So I'm going out for the day and I intend to actually shoot some content without coming home. I can literally put a couple of meal prep glass Tupperware containers in here, so that all kind of fits in there. You obviously still have your laptop sleeve. Now, typically I like to bring a laptop and an iPad with me. That makes this pretty tight. I have upgraded my laptop, so I haven't actually tried it with my current one, but I know it fit my 13-inch and they're fine. So I put all of my other miscellaneous accessories up here, which I believe Bluetooth remote, cable for my mic, AirTag. Always gotta have AirTag to check your bag. My Peak Design strap, a Allen wrench, which is magnetized. Okay, that makes sense. I'm slow, don't mind me. So those are most of the storage slots. You also, just like any other good bag, you have an access slot specifically dedicated to your loft area. So that way I don't always have to unzip my backpack to use it. If I just want to set it down and just grab something here for easy access, I love how that works. And then this top slot in there, I have business cards. Yeah. That's me. And then I have the paracord to actually attach a tripod to this bag. And I love the tripod that I have, and it fits perfectly on this bag in multiple ways, but we will probably get to that last. But let's jump into what I actually have in my bag. You guys are going to just have to make believe with me right now and visualize, because the whole reason that I have the bag is for a camera. Fortunately, all three of these cameras are being used right now. But right now I have multiple Canon R10s. I actually bought these specifically to use as podcast mics and for other multicam shooting. But since I don't currently have a dedicated YouTube camera, I usually use one of these. They're marked as A cam, B cam, C cam, but I usually have the A cam with me and then sometimes the B cam. My go-to lens, especially since these are crop sensor cameras, is my RF24 1.8. I think that gives me about a 35.6 crop factor, but I love this wide angle lens. I started using it originally on my Red for client shots when I wanted wide shots, and I definitely like using it for Talking Head studio wide shots as well. This is actually a 24. Also to note, I'm testing out the Sirui Nightwalker lenses, so that's what I'm currently using on these right now. So typically I'll have this lens and this step-up ring on this camera. Next item being a ND filter. Right now I'm using one from Haida. I think that's how you pronounce it. Also, what I like about this is it has a polarizing filter as well as 3 to 7 stops of ND. I'm big on aesthetics. As you can tell, I like black and red a lot, so this worked perfectly for me. But this is the neutral density filter that I'm using right now. Sometimes it is a bit of an issue trying to, I don't know if you just saw that, but trying to adjust the ND separately from the polarizer, separately from unscrewing this from the step-up ring, and separately trying to not unscrew the step-up ring from the lens. But it all comes down to a matter of touch, and once you get used to it, it's pretty fine. But this stuff would go in here with one of these cameras. This probably wouldn't go there, but these would go there. Next is the DJI Mavic Mini Pro 4 Pro and my neutral density filters. This aside, I love this for the portability, extra battery. These are K&F Concept neutral density filters, but the fact that, you know, with the regular battery, this is under that mandatory weight limit of having to register your drones, 249 grams, gets a pretty damn good image. You can shoot vertically on it. For its size, it does very, very well in, you know, moderate wind, and the flight distance I really love. And then this makes all the difference, like not having to put your phone onto a remote. I hated doing that. I really enjoy this controller. Now it does have a big footprint, but to me it makes up the difference in its use case and the visibility to be able to pack this into my bag. Typically this would go in here face down like that. This goes on top, maybe this way. Battery somewhere in there, face down, and then this, that's the area in the bag. Next, all of my rigging options, I'm just going to bring them all out right now. And yes, this all fits in that little bottom slot. Manfrotto Pixie, this I'll probably have to show you an actual use case for. We'll get to it in a second. Not one, two of these. Along with that, I have this. So I don't know if this actually was in that bottom section, but this is all of my rigging stuff. So we know what a Manfrotto Pixie is. You can just set it down. You can adjust the angle of your camera and you're good to go. Also, let me say, I know this is overkill, and on a lot of days when I go out, I take a lot of this stuff out if I know I'm not specifically using it. So yes, this is overkill. I'm overprepared, and a lot of times I'm trying to overproduce shots, but these are all the things that I keep in the bag, and then sometimes I will take stuff out based on my use case. PGY-TECH Mantis Pod, I haven't used this as much, but I do love the use cases that I have used it for so far. It is pretty versatile. I do like it. Also, having multiple options are good if I have multiple cameras, because maybe sometimes I need a second shot, or if I need to get BTS of the actual shot, sometimes it's nice to have these as different options to place the camera specifically where I want it to capture the right angle of behind the scenes of what I'm doing. This will come in handy later, but I'll just show it right now. So one of the other things that I have in my bag, I got this from a YouTuber's video, not this, but he explained how he uses his DJI Raven Eye for transmission and camera monitoring. I actually bought the DJI SDR, but I ended up sending it back immediately because something came up. Since I also have a DJI gimbal that came with one of these and it was just sitting around, I have that. But in cases when I probably need to monitor myself because I'm too far away from the camera and I need audio, I'm probably also running audio wirelessly as well. So it's good to have this. I can have my DJI Raven Eye or some other type of transmission on here, and then I can actually have the receiver for my audio here, and they can both take up one place on top of the camera, and that just adds to efficiency. So that's this. This is a folding L bracket for my camera. You've seen these before. I just like this one because it does fold up relatively easily. I do wish it was black. I actually thought it was black when I ordered it, but it works. These are Arca Swiss plates as well. So my last camera for years was a Canon RP. I had the battery grip on it and I would run an L bracket on there, which made it a lot easier whether I was doing photo or video if I needed to switch to vertical. I know there's a new mount where you can just put it on there and rotate the camera. I may look into that, but for now, this is here. Now these, I'm sure we've seen all of the YouTube videos and how these can be used. I don't even know if I will use it like this specifically, but I do know for a client, I tried to use one of these, putting a camera on a bike, and it was not strong enough. But back to the bag, as I said before, all of this will typically go in here. And yeah, so as you can see, that's all in here. Another bonus point is I think that's also what helps to give this such a sturdy base for when you set it down. Next, which I need to start using more because I've been spoiled with having cameras that shoot RAW, is my color card. This is the X-Rite Color Checker Video. I think the Passport version. Yeah. Miscellaneous. This is my, for the moment, SD card holder. We've already talked about the Raven Eye. Now to get to audio and other accessories, this Sennheiser MKE 400. This is my current on-camera microphone. Has great audio quality. I haven't used it a lot, but from the tests that I've done, I like it better than most. I typically lean more towards either using a boom mic or wireless, but I guess if I'm ever out vlogging, this would be the best mic for me to use, unless I do want to take the time to mic myself up. And in that case, that would be, of course, these, which are going to be DJI Mic 2s. I love these, except for I don't like this clear. I wish this was like more matte black and just more simplified, but you know, tis what it is. Now this little pouch just has all my other miscellaneous stuff, half audio then half miscellaneous. So this is, of course, the cable for the DJI receiver to go into the camera. This is the cable for my microphone to go into a smartphone. These were recommended, well, something separate was recommended by Mark Moan in one of his videos, but I think as far as what was linked and what was available online, this was the closest thing. These are great for when you want to wire your lav mics and you want to put them on yourself. So for me, another thing, like I'm decent with audio. One thing I haven't had a lot of experience in is just continuously miking people. Like I'm pretty good with mic placement, audio post-production, but I'm trying to get in the habit of miking people more. So I'll probably start miking myself a lot more in videos just so I can get in the habit of that. Sure, these are other accessories, wind muffs and stuff, but this is the DJI Lav mic, wind muff for the Sennheiser, and then some accessories for my gimbal. Back to these. This typically would go in here. This would go in here. Mic's there. I could put the Raven Eye on top. This is the Nitecore BB Nano lens blower. And then along with that, I have moleskin and then I have gaff tape. So those typically will go in as well. So now we're getting a little stuffed. Things may start falling out, but you can kind of see how my bag looks. Then up top, as I said, for right now, I have my 24-105, and then I will put this moleskin because I don't think I would typically carry this with me, but like I said, over preparation, over packing. But minus the camera, this is all that I typically carry with me in my bag. Now, one additional accessory that I won't go into too much is my travel tripod. This is from Freewell. Probably do a separate video on this, but the long and short of it is aesthetics, minimalism. I do believe this is carbon fiber. You know, it's so small that it fits perfectly with the bag. I can put it in the water pouch if I wanted to, but also it fits perfectly on the bag in the tripod slot. Oh, another feature I don't think we talked about. This tucks in and then comes out. So I would put 2 feet in there and then use this cable to make sure that this was secured. And then yeah, this fits perfectly on my bag. I love this because it fits in either one of my suitcases, which are both from Away. They're both the carry-on version, the international one and then the regular one. Just to know other items that are not in this bag that probably will, or things that may change. Eventually, I'm going to get a dedicated camera again for my YouTube and content creation. Also, one other item that I had briefly but got rid of is I want to get another 360 camera. I had the Insta360 X4, but I sent it back. I like to challenge myself. I like new things. So I have done a lot of video stuff, but I haven't done a lot of work in 360. And now that I have a slightly more powerful camera, the ability to be able to like challenge my mind a little bit more is what makes me want to get another Insta360 camera. But yeah, there you have it. This is what's in my bag and some of the things that may be added later. Let me know your thoughts, or if you have any questions in the comment section below, and I will see you all in the next video.